Hello, I like gaming, and something got me very curious. I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077. Common occurrence. Sometimes I drive, sometimes I just walk around, experience the city. It's just a nice vibe, man. Cyberpunk 2077. But you know what got me really curious right now? Why do some games just get the boot? And some games in our beautiful hobby just get to have a second chance. This game in particular, if we go back to the very start, the very beginning, the Cyberpunk 2077 was not a good game at launch. CD Projekt Red's reputation was torn to shatters. It was literally destroyed right before our eyes. We were looking for anyone to blame but CD Projekt Red themselves. But then, after countless tries, countless batches, the game was playable. But by then, no one cared. Then Cyberpunk Edge Runners dropped. It was a great anime, made by Studio Trigger. Made people make Kill la Kill. And that thing was a banger. When that banger dropped, we knew what it was. It was time to come back and act like David Martinez. And that was what we did. Then the miracle happened. Idris Elba came into the game and Phantom Liberty was dropped. Another banger. No L's since then. But then you look at a game where my friend was telling me was near and dear to his heart, Anthem, which I have no footage of because that game is buns to me. But he felt so passionately about it. I felt like I wanted to share it with you guys. He said Anthem didn't get a fair shot. Anthem was the one, and they threw it up the river. I didn't see what he was seeing. What do you think about it? We argue about this every time. But he will go, I think he will go to his grave thinking Anthem could have been a very great game if it didn't get thrown into the river. And does this bring to mind there is a segment of the game audience I would like to talk about? The criticizers, the contrarians, the people who go to game just to hate on it. By the way, that is not what you call a grifter. It's a hater. You're just a hater. I get gacha games because you want to warn people about them because you don't want to get too deep into a game and have to keep playing because your money got tied up into it, which I think is a trick of the brain a little bit. And I think you should just stop playing a game if you stop enjoying it. That's how our hobby works, I think, 1000%. So moving on to, he said in particular Anthem was a great game to him because it had the gameplay and the service model and the history of developers who, you know, just got finished with Mass Effect. He thinks the Mass Effect endings kind of played a part in Anthem's bad reception. Not too sure about that one either. It's an angle. And I think that's what my friend is pretty good at about anyway. Playing angles. We're trying to see angle. But sometimes it should be right in front of your face. The game was undercooked, under-delivered, microtransaction riddled. Any content. At least Cyberpunk had the content. You know. A better comparison might be No Man's Sky. When that game came out, you went on a whole press run straight capping. Literally. Capping. Sponsored by Sony. Sony sponsored capping. Reminds me of Concord. You know, I've been doing funny little videos on Theory Restarted. I have a more complete thought on the game. You need Lily. You need clothes. I have on very good authority from many YouTubers. If you want to progress, as fast as you can, you need those characters. Full disclosure, I am what you call sweat in every game I play. But the thing is, when you sweat so hard, you take all your water out of your body and then you faint. I don't call it burnout, I'll call it faint out. You faint and like, I know a lot of streamers make jokes about it, but do you actually think they were selling on Dragon Age Velgar? Like, they sat in there in the development of the game and said, you know what, guys, we're gonna sell. We're gonna really try to push this whole, like, being sensitive to other people to think. And don't they realize this one important fact about people? We are rude to everyone, not equally. People are rude to each other on a daily basis. If you actually don't have the armor to withstand people's constant assaults on your character, you're not gonna last long in life. Because that's basically what guys do to each other all the time. We just test how much stuff you can take before you break. Because if you break under pressure of us wisecracking you, you will break under the pressure of life. No doubt about it. That's our logic. Take it or leave it. Do so many game devs actually think we hate them? I don't hate game devs. I hate the fact that they make really boring games that have no story or no good gameplay, but the lights look nice. It's incredibly frustrating. I don't like dealing with it at all. But then when I hear them talk about how Elden Ring is such an awful game for not showing you the direction on the map. Actually, I heard one of my friends actually say that he disliked Elden Ring because it did not show him where to go on the map. Called him a sheep. Moved on with my life. Day 2 game may be the most greediest game of all time. Not only do you have to get into the game, you gotta pay $60. Not only do you have to pay for a $15 season pass, not only do you have to sign an agreement saying that you don't own the game one bit, not only do you have to pay money to have your player to be 85 overall, if you want to play my team, you have to pay money to have a decent my team so you can play online and hopefully compete in the tournaments for fun. Not only do you need to have enough time to actually grind the player out, they do the season pass, you need to rank up in the rewards. You need even more time. Why do they want my time, money, and a season pass? And by the way, you won't even get enough time to get these rewards done if you don't play the game habitually. These are for streamers and people who have an illness and people who have no job. Count your blessings you're not playing that game. I think a lot of MMOs fall into the trap of trying to be graphically ahead of the curve. I don't get it. You want your game to last a long time. It's gonna look old at some point. I think they should focus more on art direction. Like, I think a game like Assassin's Creed can kind of focus more on looking good for the day and age. But, you know, you look at Marvel Rivals, it looks okay, but it's really the art direction. It's just really fantastic. If you focus on making the game look good visually, like, you know, Batman Arkham City or Arkham Knight, you can actually get a game that can last a pretty long time. Easier said than done, I know. My fellow luminaries, thank you for listening to my video today. If you want more videos like this one, please tune in to the Gabe Core channel. More videos like this one, or the ones on my channel already. It's up in the trash section. That's where we'll keep those.